Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Cheated on boyfriend. Should I tell him? Was I groomed? Context: when I was 18, I began dating a guy who was also 18. We ended up staying together for 2 years until I left for university. We spent almost every single day together. He was my best friend as well as my boyfriend. He was the only person who knew my deepest traumas/secrets and still loved me for me. He was allowed to sleep over, was close with my little brother, etc. He was essentially a part of the family. However, we argued a lot, approximately 4 times a day. I felt incredibly controlled and oppressed in the relationship. He was a lovely guy, but he could be very insecure. For example, if I wore ripped jeans, he would stop talking to me and he had my account passwords, etc. These reasons are no excuse for cheating, but I just want to give you guys a complete account. I had a family friend whose house I would stay at, because it felt like a haven. She had a brother who was 25, who sometimes came over too. When I was 15, the family friend told me before I met her brother that he's going to really get along with you because you act like the only ex that he ever loved. I found that weird, but I smiled. But she was right. When I met him at 15, we instantly clicked. We spoke about deep topics like spirituality, family issues, music, etc. and he asked for my Facebook where we would engage in friendly conversations. This friendship carried on for some years. When I turned 18, now in 6th form, he started making jokes like he had been waiting for me to turn 18. We began going out on dates and had intercourse 3 times. He told me that he loved me. He also had 2 toddlers. I began arguing with my boyfriend even more because I would begin to compare them and get annoyed at him over small things. Terrible, I know. I am now 21, and looking back I feel absolutely disgusted in myself. Yes, my relationship with my ex wasn't great, however, he loved me and gave me the world. After I went to uni, I kind of just ghosted him. We are now friends again and he's communicated that when I ghosted him, he became depressed all those years back. I broke his heart and I feel like if I tell him this, it will break all over again. However, because we are close again, it feels evil to be in his company when I'm withholding this dreadful secret. I'm asking you guys 2 things. 1, should I tell him? Was I groomed? I know I was 18 and that is over the age of consent in the UK, but something just feels weird. At 18, I felt so cool that I was talking to someone older, my friends all cheered me on and I didn't think it was weird at the time. It could perhaps be that I'm looking for something to feel less guilty, I don't know. At the end of the day, I wasn't forced and so it's my fault 100%. What should I do? I know I'm a horrible human being, I know. P.S. I would just like to say that my ex is no longer controlling, etc. We've had many talks about this and he's nearly vomited and cringed about how he used to be. He admitted that he felt insecure and is disgusted in how controlling he was, so please no one make it about his past ways. Thanks for reading this very long post, smile. So your ex came clean about how he used to treat you, giving you that closure, and you're questioning if you should return the favor? Yes. Tell him everything. Give him some sort of closure. Have a freaking heart. Telling him would only hurt him more. She should suffer in guilt and just leave the guy alone. Telling her ex that she cheated would not benefit him nor their current relationship at all. Agreed. He was most likely controlling because she set off red flags. Notice how she paints herself out to be perfect before she cheated. At least he needs to know he wasn't crazy. Telling him would only hurt him more. She should suffer in guilt and just leave the guy alone. Telling her ex that she cheated would not benefit him nor their current relationship at all. If she tells him the truth, they will have no current relationship. For your own health, confess. Do not blame him, announce. Take 100% blame and say should have been more mature and formally broken up. Cheating and ghosting is a horrible, disgusting thing to do to anyone, especially someone who loved you. Say that. Learn from this terrible mistake. Promise yourself you will never cheat or be the AP ever again. How will you tell him? After you confess, move onward and upward. You were not groomed, if anything. You were warned. You made a choice and decided to cheat. That was not a mistake. The word mistake is so dismissive. This is gonna sound awful to me, but it's the truth. Cheating is about humiliating your partner for things they do or say. You found your friend's brother sexually attractive and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that, but you preyed on your BF's insecurities and started to look for excuses to cheat, and that is wrong. That's why you compared them both. I'm guessing your friend's brother is never in a long-lasting relationship. I think your ex is owed the truth that if you don't come clean now, you'll find a reason to cheat on your future husband in 10, 15, 20 years from now. Good luck, I hope it works out for you. Yes, tell him. And groomed? No, I don't think so. That sounds too much like you are a victim in all this. Your BF is the victim, everyone else is a villain. Just my honest opinion. What about the 25-year-old dude when she was 15? Wasn't she a minor? Yeah, but it was all PG. By the time she was 18, she made her own choice to be with him. Honestly, what's the point of telling him? So you can feel better? Why would you want him to feel any worse than what he already did? When people cheat and they instantly tell their partner, it's not for the partner's benefit, it's so the transgressors will get their guilt off their chest. You were absolutely not groomed, and I really think that is an odd question. Makes me think that you are simply looking for excuses as to why you cheated. If you were groomed, you could at least tell your ex that your heart has been altruistic and it was your friend's brother's fault that you cheated. Take responsibility in your own actions and face up, you straight up just cheated. People always look for outside excuses as to why they stepped out of the relationship, and the truth is, if people in this thread had agreed that you were in fact groomed, then you would have an out beside the fact that it was your fault. Take this as a learning experience. Do not tell your ex, it will only hurt him more. You're just trying to clear your conscience, and honestly, you just need to suffer in silence and learn to move forward and not dwell in the past. Good luck. Fiance who is pregnant slept with her ex. Advice. My fiance slept with an ex. I wish I trusted my gut earlier. There was so many red flags I ignored but after 5 months of denial and her telling me I am crazy and it's all my head, I finally had enough evidence to leave, and if it wasn't for one deleted text and an email I would have stayed with a cheater, so I left, and I have been staying with a friend for the past couple of months. After I left her state, she started telling people lies after lies to make herself look the victim. I was toying with the idea of giving her a chance, but how do you forgive someone who won't even admit to what they did? I don't even know if the kid is mine. But I am going to get a paternity test and then go from there. She has been calling me, saying from killing herself to saying she will kill me, etc. I have notified her family about what she said of killing herself. She lied to my own family. My mom is the only person who believes in me. My dad took her side and his reason was I just left a pregnant fiancée with no help. But he doesn't know the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the cries and many more. I begged her to tell me the truth. I cried for days at work. I have been toying with the idea of giving her a chance if the baby is mine. But I really don't think I will ever get over this. I feel sick, angry and sad for the baby. I was good to her, take care of her in her own words. I gave her everything. I was working 14 hours or more, sometimes 6 days a week, to make sure she was happy. I took her on dates. I honestly never cheated, even though I am not bad looking and I get looks and compliments. I wish I could say I feel better after a month, but we recently started talking again and I just couldn't keep talking to her. I just blocked her from everywhere. Until the baby is born I won't talk to her, and after that I will see. I wish I could just block her and move on, but the pregnancy is the only thing keeping me talking. Demand a prenatal paternity test. It doesn't hurt the baby. They take blood from the mother. Use it as leverage before any communication can be considered with her. Send the proof to both sets of parents, to clarify who is at fault here. Put an end to this utter foolishness. Be clear that your relationship with her will no longer continue after this disgusting betrayal, and you will not tolerate the rumors and lies shifting blame, or you will publish proof to everyone else. Do not consider getting back with her for the baby. I have seen many people do this with 0% success rate. Trust me, the baby is better off with parents that focus on a co-parenting relationship and nothing more. How she has treated you after your discovery shows her true colors. She will always be the victim and never take responsibility, and everything in life will be your fault. She doesn't care about you at all. She will sleep with other people whenever she feels like, because she knows you will eventually come back and then trash you to everyone. Do you really want to live like that? Trust me, there are millions of better women out there. Get legal advice on visitation/custody if the child is yours. Do not tolerate anyone telling you that you need to reconcile for the baby. Thank you so much for this. No problem, mate. You can take your power back and find happiness again. It's your life and no one else's. You deserve much better. Yes, please do everything that the poster says. You did a great thing going non-contact, except for the paternity test. Keep North Carolina with her. Also tell everybody what she did. Don't let her manipulate the narrative and let you be the bad guy. Save every mail and each communication, record your conversations and document each interaction between you, in case you need proof to fight for custody if the child is yours, or clean your name if she claims abuse from you. I'd add on and say, don't just send the proof to both sets of parents but to everyone else as well. Anyone she told. If she posted on social media, send it to her entire friends list. If she and AP work together, send it to their hour department. If AP has a wife, send it to her as well. It's clear she will show you no mercy. Why should you show her any? Just make sure to actually take the advice people give you. So many people ask for advice, then, later on, do the polar opposite. Sure, it may be harder than it sounds, but to me, every time I hear shit like that, I feel like the people asking for advice are just wasting our time and spitting at our faces. Poor baby is for leverage purposes only, against you or her ex. Narcissists only care about themselves. Indeed, showing that a healthy co-parenting relationship is way healthier than showing a toxic relationship. Go North Carolina with her until the baby is born. Get a paternity test to protect yourself from her committing paternity fraud against you. I'm sad to hear your dad's stance. It sounds like a typical man up and be the bigger man and take it on the chin, yada yada. Good, your mum is supportive at least. As for the rest, she needs to stop lying. People get angry at you. Don't be afraid to lay it all out and say your own self-respect won't tolerate it. Ask if they'd accept the same. And that you don't want to be there when she does it again. You're doing the right thing. Honestly, when people make comments about toxic masculinity about stupid things, I roll my eyes. Statements like his dad made are what I feel actual toxic masculinity is. Men don't have to be subjected to abuse just because some idiot with a slanted viewpoint thinks it's their responsibility in gray areas. Exactly. This machismo ideal about suffering through because what? Makes no sense to me. Agreed. People think there is merit in being stoic and suffering in silence. No. There are no medals for suffering. Seeking advice, my wife recovered from her affair too quickly. Built trust. We've been together for 10 years, have 2 children, never had bigger problems in the past, just her unwillingness to admit fault and her hiding from solving problems in general. But other than that, it was almost an ideal relationship. She directly lied to me about her affair, multiple times. I assured her that I will try to solve this problem with her, but she must be honest with me. No, she didn't confess and continued dating with another guy, acting completely normal, so my doubts faded after a while. Then I finally found out the truth, and confronted her. She admitted everything, talked about her feelings and showed me her messages to him to prove that she wasn't sleeping with him, just hanging out, touching each other and flirting. I trust her, because she was refusing his offers to sex in these messages. She was completely honest with me, and I felt that she really regretted that. But only after 2 days of crying, confessing and promising, she suddenly stopped talking about it. When I want to talk about it, she just stares into nothing with her hollow look. Sometimes she replies, still regretting her actions, but unwilling to talk about it more. Only after a few days, she started smiling, laughing, acting completely normal. Only sometimes she stops for a moment, stares into nothingness. When I ask her about it, and want to talk about it, she just shakes her head and says, "I am a terrible person, I know it." And then she is silent for few hours. I can feel that she is regretting it, but she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. It is done for her. But sure, not for me. What do you guys think about it? BTW, it is 2 months from now. Sorry for the long post and for my terrible English. She regrets getting caught, and wants to avoid telling you all the details of the affair. She doesn't regret doing it. I don't know her, but it seems she's trying to make you feel sorry for her, despite you being the victim here. She wants no consequences for breaking your trust and your heart. She may be saying one thing in text messages, but you have no idea what she was saying or doing face to face. It's possible to text no, and later, when you meet up with someone, say I changed my mind. This is my exact thoughts. This needs to be resolved, and if it isn't, she will find a means to do it again. She is intentionally avoiding it, which means she does not respect your feelings and is more concerned about her own when she is the offender. That's narcissistic behavior. I think you are misunderstanding. There is no remorse or, as you say, ashamed. She lets you hear what you need to hear. Those moments of blankness is when she think of what she had with AP and the regret of being found out. Then reality kicks in and plays happy families to overcome that phase, and I suspect until the next best opportunity presents itself. She can lie to you straight up even when confronted, so that is not a fair fog, etc., just her moral compass being low. If she can do, I see it may help her to address some of those deep-seated problems, or maybe she is not the same person you met. People change and ultimately their true character comes out/takes control. Sorry for being blunt and brutally honest about my 2 cents. Thank you for your honesty. Well buddy, you made it real easy for her. You believe everything she says no matter what, forgave her and imposed no consequences, and proved you want to stay with her no matter what she does. She knows that you're the type of husband that's good to keep around and will tolerate her behavior. You don't confront until you have enough evidence and you're willing to dump her. Instead, you know they are spending time together that would allow them to do whatever they want, but you tolerate it and don't want to believe she could have gone further. She thinks crying for a day or 2 is enough to calm you down. Stop talking to her and quietly gather evidence of what they're doing. Try to get into her social media accounts and devices to verify her previous story, and check if she's still in contact with the other guy. See a lawyer as well. That's called rug sweeping. You can't just rug sweep an elephant in the room. It will still be there until the issues are resolved by both parties. I think you are doing the right thing by bringing up the affair and the concerns related to it. If she can't find a better way to handle this, you need to find a marriage counselor to resolve the issue. One thing you need to understand, you didn't cause the affair. There may have been lots of issues in your marriage, but seeking out an outsider was her decision and is never an answer to solve the problems. You had nothing to do with it. And if you don't deal with it now, her current mindset may result in other affairs in the future. Your wife is a broken human being who shows no real remorse or empathy for what she put you through. She seriously needs to see a therapist to work out why she makes such poor decisions, but she sounds too broken to own who she is and will instead leave a trail of tears behind her. It's not done for her, she just wants to sweep everything under the rug and not face the shame and consequences for her actions. Regret is not remorse. The problem is her shame is about her. She needs to display remorse, which is about you. It is about acknowledging how this affected you and focus on repairing the relationship. Pretending things are back to normal doesn't fix the underlying issues with her personality that led her to believe this behavior was acceptable, nor does it acknowledge her actions and take ownership for the damage. Your marriage won't have any chance of reconciliation if she ignores the reality of what happened. I can tell you that you will never trust her again, you will become resentful and the marriage won't survive. She needs to communicate and tackle this issue head on, not avoid it and run away. She needs to be available for any conversations and questions that you need to rebuild trust and safety, and it will take a few years. This is not an overnight thing. Trust me. Thank you for your comment. I completely agree with it, and you put it in the way that it will help me in better understanding of this situation. First, you mentioned that other than her unwillingness to admit fault and hiding from problems, the relationship was almost ideal. You're minimizing a huge problem. And you're saying she was completely honest with you after you caught her. No, she wasn't. You had to catch her. That's dishonest. You don't really know if she regrets or feels remorse. You also don't really know what her silence is actually meaning. Could be she's covering up her double life. Could be she feels so twisted inside she doesn't know how to express that. Who knows? It's hard to tell when someone has been living deceptively. You have two choices: stay and do a lot of work in therapy to restore trust, or leave and look for someone else who is more trustworthy. Thank you. Yes, it is big problem. Maybe I try to think about it, that not everyone is open to communication, and she had some issues in the childhood, why she doesn't want to talk about her feelings. I will try to set it straight with her. Either she will start to communicate, or we seek some external help. She doesn't want it. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.